Hi, I'm Sam.
And I'm Max.
And I'm Shane.
And this is Movies Actually, where we give you an honest review of the movies we've meddled with so mischievously over at Maybe Movies.
And this time we are looking at Cabin in the Woods. This is the 2011 Drew Goddard directed horror movie starring Kristen Connolly, Fran Kranz, Chris Hemsworth, Lionel Jeffries, and Bradley Whitford. As I said, directed by Drew Goddard, co-written and produced by
Joss Whedon.
That's him. Apparently they wrote the script in 3 days.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah. This is the 2011 answer to the age-old Cabin in the Woods horror trope, and giving it a 21st century slant in a rather brilliant way, it has to be said.
Brilliant, brutal, bloody, gory, perfection.
Absolutely fantastic. Also, I want to go perhaps a step further in that description and saying it's an examination of why horror movies exist.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With its tongue planted firmly in its cheek.
Mm-hmm. Well, it could be between more than one cheek.
Actually,
Sorry.
I was waiting for that. I should have just turned around and said wedged between cheeks.
Yes.
What were we just discussing?
I know.
So I'm pretty sure I didn't see this at the cinema. I wish I had. I really do.
I did. Who did I go with? 2011. That must have been Kez.
It might well have been Kez, because I don't know how much of a monster Kez is for the Joss Whedon universe.
Yes.
I created that monster.
I think I maybe saw it maybe a year or so afterwards. I think it was a recommendation. Somebody said, no, you need to see this.
The film itself was actually completed in 2009.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
it sat on the shelf
It sat on the shelf for a couple of years before it finally got a release.
I didn't know
because
that.
they couldn't get distribution for it.
I'd always heard the studio just didn't know what to do with it, so they
there was that.
suppressed it.
But that's the thing. They suppressed it, but they couldn't get the distribution for it because of the studio interference.
Oh, I see. Because of that, right?
So
I understand.
that's why it took so long to get released. Plus, they didn't want to interfere with Chris Hemsworth's work with Marvel.
Oh, of course, yeah, because Thor would have been out around that time, and obviously they'd have been filming for Avengers,
exactly.
yeah.
Thor 1 was 2010, I want
Something
to
like
say.
that, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why they held it back, because he was obviously doing Thor and they were doing the MCU stuff.
But good job they did, because it was made for about 30 million and took about 66 at the box office.
The thing with Cabin in the Woods is it got a lot of hate when it first came out.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people weren't fond of it at all. They didn't really like it as much as others.
Thought it was a bit too meta, or?
I don't know. I think it was just the whole idea. It was like a mashup of every horror genre, every horror trope that was contained in the film.
See, that's what I love about it.
Well, same.
Exactly.
But it was just there was so much they could have done. I mean, I'm saying the film is brilliant, but the special features on the Blu-rays, they could have done so much more. Backstories with all the creatures and stuff like that. That would have been amazing.
I'm surprised though that, as you said, it got so much hate, because there's nothing in this that doesn't make you feel that it is, as you say, it is a love letter to the horror genre.
A lot of horror fans don't like the movie. They think it falls flat, and I couldn't disagree more. I think the movie is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
it makes me chuckle.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of us back in the 1990s. Like gaming, studying, college.
But also arguing about movies and about the...
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't do that. I mean, that's why I keep wanting to call him Topher. Fran's character.
Yeah, Marty.
Marty, thank you. Yeah. Every time he's like, am I the only one who thinks this is a really dumb idea?
Yeah.
And he's the voice of the audience for so many decades. So many people going, you'd never catch me doing that.
Yeah. I think what's really refreshing about it as well is, especially at the time when it came out, it kind of bucked the trend, because there was so many horror films coming out around that time that were all just horrible things happening to people you don't give a shit about.
Oh, the torture porn craze.
Yeah, just horrible characters being... Yeah.
And another thing is, around about that time, it was the start of the Hollywood saying, let's remake all the classic movies and turn them to shit.
Yes. Also that. Remaking things that don't need to be remade.
Yes. Yeah. Although, in hindsight, they did give us the prequel for The Thing. which I don't mind. I don't mind that prequel.
I don't hate it. I have it at home. But I am disgusted that they replaced the already existing physical effects with CGI.
Yeah,
I can't forgive it for that.
What they did with that was they actually filmed it using practical effects and put the CGI over the top.
Exactly.
But they didn't need to do that.
No, of course not.
If they actually had the practical effects there and they were perfect enough.
That's the thing. That's why I can't forgive the movie. I can forgive the director because it wasn't his fault, and I can forgive the actors because it's not their fault. But I can't forgive the movie execs who made this happen. And so, unfortunately, the movie itself is tainted by association.
But I don't mind the film,
personally. It's okay. I mean, I don't mind it because if I was on a mind to have a bit of a thing evening, I get to watch the lesser one first in the right chronological order.
Well, there's definitely that, yeah. They place them the right way round.
But yeah, if you haven't seen this film and you are obviously a horror fan, then really, really do. Don't listen to the haters. You will have a good time. You'll enjoy it.
I think a lot of people will get a lot of gratification from this as well because, such joy. I mean, when you're a horror fan, you get joy out of certain elements. And you'll get that with Cabin in the Woods.
Absolutely,
I find.
Yeah. All the little Easter eggs in there, all the little nods
so many
to
Easter
stuff.
eggs. There's so much going on in that film.
Exactly. I mean, you
need to watch it more than once.
Oh,
really
absolutely. You can't get everything in one go.
No.
Probably not even in 3. It's one of those things, in my mind, I find it similar to Scream. Like, they're both meta movies that are love letters to their genre.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a little disappointed in so-called horror fans saying this isn't a real horror movie. That's naughty.
But the thing is,
that's just naughty.
You've also got to remember there's a lot of new horror fans who just don't grasp the concept of what classic horror is.
Yes,
and for me, it's like I have debates with people online about certain horror movies, and they're a lot younger than me, and I say to them, look, you need to watch this movie to understand this movie.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it can end up in all-out war and not listening.
I remember having an argument with some friends about From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Because they were quite a bit younger than me, and they're like, oh, it's a crap film because it doesn't want to be. It starts off as this and it turns into this.
That's the intention of it.
That's the point.
Yeah, that's the very inherent idea. It's one of those things. I see what you're saying. One of the problems of the horror genre when it comes to discussing things is that the horror genre is very self-referential and it's very meta in its very concept. I suppose there are people who don't appreciate that fact. I've always liked it, I've enjoyed watching the movies that were inspired by Lovecraft, and then as I got older, buying the books of Lovecraft and reading the stories and seeing where it all originated from and following the pathway back through history.
Oh yeah, it does invite you in. There's and people probably have. You can make a career out of, studying this stuff, and it's designed like that. It's very accessible. So yeah, why you'd poo-poo this? I don't get it.
Cabin in the Woods for me is a funny movie. It's a great movie. It's well written. It's well directed.
Yeah,
and it's well acted as well. Yeah, and it's just for like this old gorehound here. There's like plenty of gore and
so much blood.
Yeah,
lots of blood. Oh, I love the blood.
I was reading a thing the other day, which I thought was quite funny. So apparently, the reason why Marty doesn't go into the lake with them and keeps his top on, it's because apparently he was pretty ripped.
Yeah.
Apparently Drew Goddard described him as a muscular Jesus. And because he's playing the dweebish character, they didn't want to show that he's actually pretty,
Yeah.
Well, no, see that... You'd want to just have one little reference to it so that your viewers can go, aha!
Oh, I suppose, yeah.
That's...
Obviously without giving too much away. But yeah. I understand. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
I would want a tiny reference to it, just a peek into the buffness or whatever, and then just leave it at that.
With that incredible coffee cup.
Yes, an awesome coffee cup. I want one.
Which was functional, wasn't it? You could use it as either.
Yeah. See, what I liked about it is that he closes it up, takes out the pipe and then it attaches as the handle.
It's the way he does it almost like effortlessly. He just goes click, clunk. I don't know what you're talking about.
And what I thought was awesome was that the guy himself, Franz, whatever his name
Frank
is.
Cans.
Yeah, he was a stoner before the movie.
So he was the dude educating everybody else on their sniff etiquette.
Yeah.
As a complete aside, for some reason, that just makes me think of that story about, was it Party Monster? And you had Macaulay Culkin showing Marilyn Manson how to smoke a cigarette.
Yes. Macaulay Culkin bought Marilyn Manson his first pack of cigarettes. Yeah.
Anyway, but yes, if you haven't seen Cabin in the Woods, and if you've been lucky enough to have not had the film spoiled for you in any way at all, then definitely do check it out. I don't know about you guys, it definitely gets 2 thumbs up from me.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up from me.
And I don't know about you guys, but I hate it when they ain't been shaved.
Huh?
Oh, God.
Until next time, thanks for checking us out. Obviously, do see everything else we've got on the channel. Do check out our Patreon, our social media, and we will see you next time.
As always, guys, TTFN.
Shaving peaches. Bye.